came up my alert live stream. I'm going to start singing Christmas songs.
All right. If you want people to stay, you better not.
It's not that bad.
All right. We got to put this on there. We don't want to hear the delay. Did you hear that delay?
We did hear the delay.
Ah, Bradley Height, North Country. Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Popped on a couple minutes early. We're going to give people a few minutes to get here.
Nice to have you, North Country. And Bradley.
And Bradley as well. Yeah. All right. North Country has some muscle. All right.
I hope North Country behaves today.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Adam. Hey, thanks for joining us, Adam. Hey, Stacking and Prepping. Adam Hafner, he's a good friend of mine. He's a big supporter of my YouTube channel, and he's working on some stuff for us. So
nice to meet you, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam. And Steve.
Yeah, Steve, good to see you as well. I think Steve, you just recently commented on my 500 GAW video, so thanks. I appreciate that. But we're gonna give people a few more minutes to log in, and so hang tight with us for a minute. So Stacking and Prepping, how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome.
Yes, we're doing very good over here.
How's the weather over in your area? Pretty chilly? Got some snow on the ground or no?
No snow, but it's cold.
Yeah, it's quite chilly.
Are you hoping for a white Christmas?
No.
Yes.
What?
No.
Yes.
No.
If you're gonna live in a place with snow, you got to have a white Christmas.
No.
You could be in Florida.
No way. Ugh, I hate shoveling.
Still has to be white.
Yeah, but still, I'd rather be no. Hey, Nate Gate, how are you, buddy? BC Coins, Nevada.
Ozark. So Bradley, you poured your first silver bar today? That's awesome. I'll have to check out your video.
Congrats, Steve. Hey, Dime Digger.
Steve, you just passed 504 ounces. Dime Digger, how's it going?
Nate, I know you wanted to talk to me. Can you email me later after the stream? Nate Gate.
Silver Saint 77. What's happening, man?
Wow,
Thanks for joining us.
Wow, that is awesome. 504. Almost.
September.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, 504. I got you. 504 ounces since September. Boy, Steve, that's quite a commitment. That's awesome. I'm not sure where the 0.81 comes from. Did you shave some off or what? That's cool, though. All right, we're just going to hang on just a couple more minutes, everybody, and then we'll get this thing started. But we'll get her going soon. Debbie, how's it going? Too warm for snow? Well, if you're in Albuquerque, I assume you're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. No snow out there. Debbie, how's it going? Too warm for snow? Well, if you're in Albuquerque, I assume you're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Where are we getting there from? No snow out there. Debbie, how's it going? Too warm for snow? Well, if you're in Albuquerque, I assume you're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I know. Let's see. Silver Saint 77. Was the first time I ever done something like this. I feel like I'm talking to a Hollywood movie star. Oh, come on. Just send $9.95 if you want my autograph.
Hey, folks.
Just kidding.
How are you, buddy?
Snow in the north, enough to ski. Really? I didn't know that.
Hey, Citrus by Silva. Nice to have you. I know I talked to you the other day.
Hey, Seduce, thanks for joining us. For having us treasure. Good to see you here. The man with the wrench.
It's Debbie too. Debbie's here.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah, we're in Michigan, so we get some pretty cold weather here, and I'll tell you, I'm kind of hoping for I'm hoping for a white Christmas, just because it can melt December 26th as far as I'm concerned. But I like a Christmas Eve with some snow falling. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
No snow in Vegas. All right. Well, we don't want to take up too much of your guys' time tonight, so let's go ahead and get started. So thank you guys for joining us. This is our first live stream that we're going to start having weekly, and we're calling it the East Side Rendezvous. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to just get together. Stacking and Prepping reached out to me and said, "Hey, how would you like to get together and do some live stream?" And I said, Guy, that would be an awesome idea. So we decided to get together, and one of the really cool things we wanted to do is bring in our spouses with us, because our spouses, have to put up with us every day, and but they
Yes, we do.
but they enjoy it. They are full. My wife, I know for sure, is full into this silver stacking and believes that it's the right thing to do and the right time to do it, and the prepping part of it too. We enjoy the prepping part as well. So we just thought it'd be cool if we could just get on and talk to some other folks about what we're doing, and get some thoughts on your side as well from some different topics, and it'd be cool. So I've got my wife here with us tonight, Mrs. Talking Bullion. Go ahead and say hi.
Hey, everybody.
Anything you'd like to say about living with such an awesome guy like me?
Oh, come on. Don't give her stuff you can pay her to say.
He is talking bullion day and night, whether or not the YouTube is on. I'll tell you, he really loves this stuff.
Yeah, she'll try to talk to me about other things, and I'll go, and about that YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, come on. You got to still watch that while we're in bed."
Come on.
So that's about it from us, Stacking and Prepping. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, we've been stacked for about 5 to 6 months, and
Yep.
she's into it, which is great. It was not hard to get her to want to do it. So
No, there's a lot of value in it. So,
but she puts up with me, which is the best part.
aw.
So yeah, that's good. So we want to go ahead and get started, and let you know if you want to ask some questions. That's fine. If you put them down in the chat, we're gonna take note of them. Maybe just put a couple asterisks or something in front of them so we can tell that it's a question. And certainly we'll keep an eye on the chat and try to engage along if the question he has needs to be answered right away. So we're going to talk about a few different things tonight. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, constitutional silver, and why we think it's a good idea and some of the benefits of it. And also Stacking and Prepping is going to give us some prepping information. I'm really looking forward to that, because although we believe in prepping and we are preppers at some level, we really need to take it to the next level. We've kind of taken it to the next level on the silver side, but silver is not going to do you any good if you haven't prepped the right way for food, water, and Mr. Stacking and Prepping has a lot of great stuff to talk about on that side. So we're really looking forward to tonight and getting this thing started. So we're going to try to keep an eye on the chat. It's always hard to talk and read at the same time, but I can see some people saying hi to me. So hello, everybody. Appreciate the hellos out there. And so let's go ahead and talk about some constitutional silver, or 90% silver, or junk silver. It's all the same stuff. A lot of people don't like to call it junk, but the reason I tend to refer to it sometimes as junk is because everybody else does, and everybody knows what you're talking about. Is it junk? No way. It is awesome stuff, and I think it's pretty valuable. I get it for a couple different reasons. Number one, it's affordable. You can usually get it for spot or less, and Mr. S&P has a pretty good story about that. And so, you know, where a lot of the other silver you buy has some nice premiums with it. Right now, constitutional silver silver doesn't. And that's important, because I know I wasn't really collecting it back then, but I know that there was a time just a few years ago when constitutional silver was selling for $5 or $6 an ounce over premium, and that could certainly happen again. So right now it's very affordable. It's easy to stack. It does take up a little bit of room, but yet you get a lot for your money. I also like it because it's very recognizable. I mean, honestly, almost every country in this world knows what U.S. coinage looks like. And so not really planning on running off to other countries in the world right now, but if you had to or something came up, it would really be there, to be recognized and be used for any kind of situation. And then the third thing I really like about it is it's my fractional silver. So I'm not going to take an American Silver Eagle and cut it into pieces. If we ever get in a situation where we need less than an ounce, fractional silver is really, really going to play that role for us. So that's what I want to talk about with constitutional. And you know, Mrs. Stacking and Prepping, what's your thoughts on constitutional silver?
I don't know. I think that if you're gonna do prepping, you need to have constitutional silver. Like you said, if someone wants, you know, a certain amount, you don't want to waste an ounce it's for bread. You know, you're gonna want to have the smaller, you know, ability to pay. Right. And I think that's probably something that everyone should have at a time of if STHF ever happens. So
I totally agree.
And what about you, Mrs. Talking Boy? And what do you feel about the constitutional silver, since we have a lot of it?
Well, absolutely, because there is, just like you need to have food at different levels as far as something that you can eat readily without heating up, and then things that you would have ongoing that would be those that you would prep for something more long-term that you would actually have to cook. So there's all different stages of prepping, and not just one thing really is adequate. You need to have several levels. And so that's why I'm glad we're starting to get serious about doing some of these things.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You know, certainly your silver stack should be more than just one thing. And we've got videos, and we've talked about that quite a bit as well. That's a good point related on the prepping side, how you need to have different levels of that too. So
your wife is so right. I mean, she explained it perfect.
Yeah, I agree. And she tells me that all the time as well.
I have to remind him sometimes.
That's right. It's good that we have someone that keeps us in check, you know?
Got to, especially with me. I'll tell you, I need it. So yeah, I hope you know, most of you out there probably are aware of the constitutional benefits, but we want to just run through that tonight, because right now, again, it's really cheap, and I would encourage you to make sure that you're adding that as part of your collection, because I think it's going to be someday it's going to be pretty important to have. And you know, if you never need it, it's not going to lose its value. It's 90% silver. I've got some good YouTube videos out there if you haven't seen them on how to calculate constitutional silver. You know, one of the things I see people doing is, you know, they'll go to a coin shop or a coin show, and they won't know how to calculate, you know, when somebody presents something to them. So I wanted to put out a video because, you know, if you go on YouTube and see what people are paying for constitutional silver, I mean, I'm just amazed. They are easily paying $18, $19, $20 an ounce.
That's crazy.
And I guess if you're going to sell it, I mean, if people are going to buy it, I guess you can sell it. But and you look in those eBay auctions, you know, 125 sold, 300 sold, you know, people are buying it at that rate. So, I mean, I guess, you know, we all have to learn, and we're all in our different places, but there's really no reason right now to pay. I mean, honestly, you really shouldn't even be paying a buck over spot for constitutional. You can really, even from the major online vendors, usually find it for 39 to 59 cents over spot. So I would just encourage you to look around, take a look, and see. So I'm gonna take a minute here to say hi to some people. Some other people have joined. Kendall Kid, how you doing tonight? Southside Stacker, hey, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. I think I said hi to Clever Coin, but hey, Clever Coin, thanks for joining us. TJ Coins, yep. VC Coins Nevada, we said hi to him. I made a recommendation to something he was doing the other day on his site. So doing some good stuff over there on your side, VC Coins. And so thanks, everyone. We really appreciate it. And I know, Seduced by Silver, you've been trying to get some, you're in Canada, and you've been trying to get some U.S. constitutional silver, and I know you're getting your collection going on that side. So that's pretty cool. Maybe one of these days you could do a video and educate us on, some of the, Canadian junk silver and what we should be looking for on that stuff, because I have no idea what the percentages are and what the years are on that stuff. So that'd be pretty cool.
Corn's here now.
Hey, Corn, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. WB, how's it going? Off-grid power. So anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. We really appreciate it. Really do. So Mr. and Mrs. S&P, so our next agenda item is the prepping information. So why don't we go ahead and start talking about some of that, because I think some
First,
people
I wanted to know what your thoughts were. I think people would like to know, how do you think junk silver could be bartered with? Because a lot of times I've seen in some chats is that people wonder how, if people don't know, less than 1% know about silver, how people are going to be educated? How do you feel people are going to get educated when this type of thing has to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in seeing some comments from the chat, but I think that people will become educated. They're going to have to become educated, because it's just going to be one of those things where, it's just going to be the sign of the times, and people are going to learn pretty quick what it represents and what it means and how valuable it can be. So I think it's going to come by default. I think people are going to have to know what you got and the value of it, and the bartering for it, what you're going to be able to trade it for. So I mean, I know, we can't be guaranteed that'll happen, but it certainly seems like it would happen.
Yeah, Southside Stack is starting trouble again.
We know how he is, huh? Trying to bring politics into it already.
So no, I just wanted to kind of go over like 10 things that I personally would want to make sure I have if I had to leave my house quickly in a bug out bag. And some of the things, I was doing a lot of research, and some of the things I found, which I was never thinking about it. So one thing that we should always remember is make sure we grab our IDs, our birth certificates, so that way you can identify who you are. When I was doing a lot of research and getting into this, I never even thought about making sure I had my ID.
Nope.
So, right?
It was like one of the last things I would have thought of.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that either.
Yeah, because you get out and you need to identify yourself. So that's a major thing. Cash, that's something we need to actually have on us, because we don't always carry cash. I know a lot of people, just use their debit cards, don't use cash. Sure. So gotta make sure you keep some cash. And I do recommend constitutional silver to go in there. Yes. So if something does happen, you have some type of silver in smaller amounts to be able to prep with.
I mean, if that's one of the things that I get a little concerned about, and one of the things that Corn certainly supports. He's an all gold man, but leaving and taking whatever you have, 200 ounces, 500 ounces, 1,000 ounces of silver with you is going to be honestly a pretty tough task. I mean, it's going to be a lot of weight, take up a lot of room. So there is a concern about that, and that's why we try to pick up some gold when we can as well. But still, right now silver is affordable, it's cheap, and it's easy to buy. It's pretty tough to buy gold, especially in bigger quantities.
And not everyone can afford to buy gold either.
They can't, so
it's an option for many people.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about it, you have 10 ounces, and what's the ratio now? Is it 84 or something to 1?
Yeah, I haven't looked. I can look real quick. I've JM Bullion's little app has it.
Taking
right
84 ounces. Sometimes, that can be
still
85
to 1.
If you have a large value gold coin, how are you going to barter with it?
Yeah, you're gonna have to, unless you're buying a piece of land or something,
right?
Or something like
that. So silver
yeah.
still has its place.
Yep, and I'm seeing Southside Stacker saying it's silly not to stack cash. I agree. You got to add cash. I mean, cash is king for sure. So, you need to have that as part of your stack, no doubt about that.
Right. No use having to use any silver if you really don't need to at that point. If fiat still works, then use the cash.
That's a question.
Totally agree.
Okay, so the other thing is, not just water, but you got to have some type of water filter with you, whether it's the one that it's like a little, I forgot, it's got a little pump to it. I forgot what it's
it'll
called.
like take dirty water and actually filter that out as well.
Yeah, you can get them. They're not too expensive. I mean, there's ones that you can constantly reuse over and over that have a special cylinder in it, but those go for about $300. So, I mean, at least something basic just to, if you're thirsty, you got to get some water in you.
Because you can't survive without water. The basic need.
I can.
Wow.
Well, no, she can. I don't even want to.
Put your cape away, Superman.
And then this is something I would never have really thought of and come up a lot is having an emergency whistle.
That's very good.
That way, say if something happens and you get caught in an earthquake or something happens and you can't be seen, having a whistle that screeches is going to be able to help you be found. And it doesn't matter where, whether it's an earthquake or something happens. Say you get hurt too in an area and you can't scream, but you can maybe whistle. That's something that, would want to be carried on you.
Yep, that's a good point. And Off Grid Power says we need to make sure we have beer. And I'm working on that one.
Yeah, I agree. I would drink the beer. She drinks the wine or the hot liquor.
Yeah. Yeah, the hard liquor would be better because it'd take up less room and more bang for your buck. But
and then, God forbid, if you got hurt, you could disinfect your wound.
There you go. Perfect, Mrs. S&B. I like it.
Yep. So, a first aid kit, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have something at least that has as much, a kit that has as much things as possible. The other thing is I recommend is having hand sanitizer on you or some other sanitize
or soap or
supplies. Sanitizer, I find it's sometimes easier to carry. And then a solar powered radio or cell phone charger. That's a huge thing. I actually just picked up 2 cell phone chargers that charge through solar, which is pretty cool. They actually work pretty good.
I'm curious, how much were those? Were those expensive or not too bad?
I think I paid like $20. I mean,
that's not bad at all.
Pretty good. The only problem is being the cheaper, it takes a little bit longer to charge. It's not very powerful, but it gets you 2 full cell phone charges on one charge.
Yeah, I mean, here in Michigan, where we have no sun, it'd probably take us about 5 days to charge our phone, but.
So, and I see there's some questions coming up too.
Yeah.
The other thing is enough clothing. A lot of times people don't think of having extra clothing. You're going to get wet out there.
Mm-hmm.
You also want, though, even if it's a poncho that folds up, small, make sure you have one of those.
Yes, you could take a whole fashion outfit, collection.
Yes. She's going to have like this. I'll have a clear one. She's going to have this pink with all designs all over it.
Hey, you're gonna have cute stuff.
You gotta look good when you're bugging out.
Yeah.
Silver Saint, yes. If there's no power, your phone will not work. Agree. 100%.
True.
That's true.
And then food. I always recommend having some bars in there.
Mm-hmm. Shelf stable stuff.
MRE packs. Have at least a couple of those. Those can be whipped out. They're kind of a little bit on the pricier side, but you got a full meal there.
Stuff like nuts and that kind of stuff. High protein.
Yeah. Hey, Silver Nuts is not here.
No Silver Nuts tonight.
No Silver Nuts over here. So that's a huge thing. And the last thing is fire starter. I do recommend having, which we have, fire starter. There's matches that can actually light underwater. I mean, they can still stay lit underwater in the rain, and it will help you start a fire. So those are the ones that I highly recommend, are the ones that can be lit in any type of weather.
So we have a couple questions out there, and one is about a bug out vehicle. And have you considered or purchased any bug out vehicle or researched which one would be best? And we have another one there asking about carrying seeds in your bug out bag.
That the seed thing, I've honestly never ever thought about. That's a good point. Probably having some of those, because if you're going to be somewhere for a while, I mean, I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't take much room, so that would probably be something that would be a good idea to pack. I mean,
it's a renewable resource.
Yeah.
And you can grow sprouts like bean sprouts and alfalfa sprouts in just a few days.
And those are really high in protein,
and so they're high in protein also.
Yeah.
So that might be a good thing for people to put in their bag. That would be short term, but obviously long term it would be. You would want some seeds.
Tard brought up the tent or top thermal blankets. Yep, that is definitely something.
Tons of Tylenol.
Tylenol. Yeah, so Miss S&P keeps hounding me, I can just pop a couple.
Don't.
Yeah, I know.
If he gets out of line, hey, you know.
And I know Seduced by Silver did a video last week about, prepping, and showed all of her containers, and she had, different things like that in there. It was really pretty impressive. I, showed it to my wife, and, we really, got to get more serious about, prepping like that and having that stuff in nice, easy to carry containers and take it quickly. So that was a pretty good video.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering if you did research anything on the vehicles, because I've kind of wondered that myself, because so many of these vehicles have the trackers in them.
What research I have, and this is what I want to do. We want to get an SUV or a pickup truck that doesn't have any type of computer in it. The older trucks that you don't have to worry about a computer issue with it, those stupid readers, whatever. And, I think those, they're not going to have anything traceable in it unless someone puts a GPS on it. So I think the older vehicles that are, just pure vehicles and not being controlled with a computer inside it, I think is the best way to go. So I think that's something we were considering probably purchasing because of that reason. And then if something goes wrong with the computer, you can't really do anything.
Right.
Your computer goes in your car. So
it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, that was it. So that's what we were thinking about, something like that. That's one of our purchases that we want to make at some point.
Yeah, we're a little bit off from there. We do have some food and some different things, but we do need to get more serious, and that's why I'm glad we're kind of teaming up, because I think we're going to be a good team together to talk about the stacking, the prepping, and I think that's all good stuff. And I really, in our times right now, where we are, stock market every day is up and down all around, and politically, I mean, everything going on. I mean, we just don't know. I mean, it seems like it's a far-fetched fantasy at this point that things like that can happen, but I'm not too sure it is. I mean, look at what's going on. Is it France? The yellow, what do they call them?
Yellow jacket.
The yellow jacket, yellow vest. I mean, who would think that, one day we could wake up and just find that stuff happening here? So I think we need to be wise and make sure that we're prepared for something like that to happen, Yeah.
And Silver Saint 77 asked to explain a situation where you would have a bug out bag. To answer that, I think there's many situations. I think even if your house catches on fire, having something that you can grab easily that could have some things in it for you. The other thing is, if say something, an economic failure happens, or fighting happens on the streets. I mean, there's so many situations that can happen. I can't even think of them. But
car.
Oh yes, yeah. Actually, you know what?
In your car,
Miss
for like a
S&P.
snowstorm.
Yeah.
If you're having to travel.
Yeah. So I mean, having that,
You get stuck.
So I think that there's so many different reasons to have one. I just honestly can't think of all of them on my top of my head. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, and house fires, one of them. I'll tell you, we had a house fire here, about 10 years ago now, and we lost everything. And literally, all we had what was in our car and what we took to work with us that day. So, I mean, having a bug out bag with some essentials to hold us over, because we were pretty rocked for 3 or 4 or 5 days before we could get settled in a hotel and stuff. So, even it doesn't have to be a major, crap hits the fan situation. It can be something else that disrupts your life,
And we had just a little fire safe one of those little carrier safes for going through, protecting your documents, your birth certificates, etc. And that thing survived the fire. So that was pretty awesome that it did start cracking and melting a bit, but everything, all the contents were still there. So I'd encourage people to just pick up at least that for your important documents.
Yeah, and how many people in the chat here have type of weapons? We have actually, I know I've seen a whole bunch of people in chat say, what about weapons? You know what? That's very important. Honestly, we don't have one yet, so that's probably why I wasn't even thinking about it. That's probably something eventually, right? I mean, we just haven't really focused on that right now. We're trying to, start and do as much prepping other than that. I mean, maybe that's something we should really consider now because it's being brought up. I don't know. So that's something that we're definitely going to have to talk about. You
need to get it. It's just like anything else. You need to get it before things get serious. And you can go to reputable range close by and rent rent a firearm for half an hour. Yeah. And try out, see what you like, what you don't like. Take some training. Obviously, take a safety class before you start getting into even doing that rental.
I'm curious, you guys there in New York, us people from outside of New York here, that New York has really, banned a lot of guns, and it makes it really hard. Is it difficult to, get a gun and a license over there, or do you just need to do it? You guys still there?
Oh, I think they disappeared.
No, they're still over here.
Oh.
Well, anyway, we can keep talking. Maybe these guys need to get reconnected. So hopefully you guys can still hear us. Can you type a 1 if you can hear me? Just want to make sure we're still out there.
Debbie says, B says, getting a handgun is hard.
Hey, Seduced by Silver said, hi, Mrs. Talking Bullion. All right, thanks, guys. There's a little bit of delay in there, so we were waiting to see the answers. Hey, Salivate Metal, how you doing tonight? So, yeah, looks like Stacking and Prepping dropped off momentarily, but so, yeah, I would definitely recommend, getting a handgun, CPL if you can, and being part of your prepping, because that's, like somebody just said, if you're not prepared from that side, I mean, if things really do get tough, you're going to need to protect yourself. And Corn has a lot of guns. That's good, Corn. And Adam suggesting a good knife or two, for sure. I mean, you could use your knife not only to protect yourself, but obviously to take care of other business too. So let me see. In Nevada, I carry here in Nevada with no problem. I have an open carry. Yeah, in Michigan, we're allowed to open carry as well. But
we're back.
Oh, there you guys are. Cool.
We got disconnected somehow.
So yeah, we're allowed to open carry in Michigan as well, but you really don't see many people doing it. Once in a blue moon, you'll see somebody with one. But we can get our CPL if we take a class and do some training. So most people that want to carry just don't do it on the outside. They just have their concealed license. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be taking a test. We're just finishing studying, and then we're gonna take the test to carry. Well, not to carry, to actually have it. And where we are, it's very hard to get the license to actually carry with you on person. It's easier to get the ability to have it, but to actually carry it, it's a lot of things you have to do to get it.
Yeah, we've heard, we hear all the talk about New York and how tough they make it to, protect yourself there. And then, Seduced by Silver is making a comment about having a bow but need to get a gun license. So I assume then Seduced by Silver in Canada, it's not an issue to, carry as well up there. So yeah, that would be good. I think that's an important part of the whole prepping aspect as well.
So I missed when we got this. Did you have any weapons? We got kicked off as you were starting to talk about it.
Yeah, we do. We have a
few handguns.
A few handguns, yeah, to protect ourselves. So, and that's just something that we got recently, and really just just figured it was the wise thing to do. But we're very responsible with them. We make sure that we got the training and that we continue to get trained and follow all the laws and regulations, because we don't want our rights taken away from us, and we want to be responsible with them. So that's what we do.
Yeah, we got a couple people in it. Eric, we got Salivate Metal here. Clever Coin, I didn't even see her.
He came in pretty early. He's been hanging and lurking.
The screen just moves so fast, it's hard for me to see everyone that's here.
Yeah, I know. I know some of these live chats that have hundreds of people on them, they just flies through there. It's so hard to track that stuff. Mr. S&P, you want to talk about our next agenda item?
The GOA?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Sure.
Well, first, why don't we talk about before we get to, I think we should talk about, we are actually going to be having a Christmas, so we're going to be on every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so that's going to be a permanent thing. But we're actually going to be having a Christmas episode with some Christmas giveaways on December 20th at 9 p.m. And there's going to be 4 GORs on that particular day. So one of them is going to be a special Christmas bar from someone in the community who will actually be a guest on that day. And then there'll be some other rounds that will be that are Christmas rounds that will also be given. So there'll be a total of 4 GORs that day. So definitely come to that. It's going to be, we're going to have a great show. But that's for the 20th. So make sure you mark your calendars for that. It's going to be huge.
And also make sure that you note that there won't be one on Monday the 24th, which is Christmas Eve. So that Thursday the 20th is going to replace Monday the 24th.
Yes. So we're going to give away 2 GORs tonight. One of them is going to be a 1-ounce silver eagle. And then the second one's going to be $1 face junk silver, 4 quarters. So those are going to be the 2 things. So what did you want to ask about for your GOR? Actually, so the first one is we made a video. Our last video was about stacking. Who can tell us what we were stacking in that video? Just say in the chat. This is for the 1-ounce silver eagle.
So yeah, we want to know on Stacking and Prepping's last video, what were they stacking?
There's something special about it.
Yep, definitely silver.
Yep.
But we need something more specific than that. What kind of silver?
Chocolate coins.
No, not chocolate coins.
We should have been.
If they were here, Mrs. S&P would have ate it. Yep, Eric.
There it is. Eric got it.
Yep. So congratulations, you just got yourself a 1-ounce silver eagle coming your way.
Yeah, it was a great video on Canadian junk silver. So that's what we were looking for.
And what did you want to do? Let's just do a random thing. All right, for the $1 face value for junk silver coins, for $1 face, I'm thinking of a number. So there's 29 people in here. Let's do 1 through 35.
All right, send me the number there, Mr. S&P. Send me over what number you're thinking.
I'll send to you.
Okay, I got it. All right, yep, go ahead and go, you guys. We got the number.
Oh, yep. Someone got it already.
Wow, both times, like on the second guess. Man, you guys got to let us stretch this out a little bit, man.
that just happened so fast.
Yeah, you can go ahead and stop. We got the answer.
Yep. So you guys can. Wow. So we got 2. That's crazy to pick up that fast. That's awesome.
Yep. So can we say who it was?
Yeah.
Sure.
So NATV.
NATV.
So after just email us at stackingandprepping@gmail.com and just put in the comment in the what do you call it, the subject winner, and then we will get your information just where to send it to. So that's Eric and NATV.
Yeah, well, congratulations, guys. Those are some pretty good stuff. You know, I love me some junk silver. It's, I didn't participate in that contest, but I sure would be liking to get me $1 sent to me. So American Silver Eagle, that's a great one too. So
Santa's coming. So
oh yeah, good point.
I hope Santa's good to me.
he's always watching.
Last year I got coal.
Really?
Hey,
you know what?
NATV, I'll go ahead and I'll type his email in the chat.
So yeah, I got coal last year.
Well, that's sad.
I really hope she's better to me, Mrs. TB.
Hey, I didn't give you coal.
Well, Santa did.
Santa gave you coal. That wasn't from Mrs. S&P.
Well, I've been good this year, I think.
Yeah, I think you've been good.
Yeah.
So you might not get coal or not get much coal.
You might need that coal if you know, you need to have it for a fire if everything.
Yeah, that's what Adam's saying. Coal can be used for prepping.
That's right.
So maybe that was a nice gift you got there, Mr. S&P.
Santa was thinking about you. He wanted to make sure you were nice and warm.
I just want
some coal.
Really quick. I just wanted to. Something popped up, and I kind of think it's a great topic to talk about. Asked, does anyone reload their own ammo? That is an awesome question. Does anyone here do that? That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't use reloads myself because I want them to be dependable. If I'm, you know, making a shot to save my life, not that reloads aren't dependable, but I would rather purchase from the name brand type stuff to make sure it's what I'm expecting.
It's costly to buy all the equipment also. It's really not going to save you anything, but I guess it would be good for something long-term where you were going to want to have to be able to reload.
It'd probably be good in a barter situation, though, if you knew how to make ammo and, you know, people needed it. I bet you could make a ton of money in that situation.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up, and thank you for bringing that up. Everyone should find a niche of what they can do. If you can reload, if you can smith something, everyone should have something that they can do that they can be able to barter with, you know, some type of service or a skill set. So I think everyone should develop. I think I need to develop. I don't know. I don't think I have a skill set yet, but I need to develop something. Whether you can grow, you know, vegetables. You know, not everyone can grow vegetables. I tried to grow vegetables one year, and that did not work out. Having a garden is a lot harder than it seems to be. It's a lot of work to maintain a garden.
It is.
And I don't know how many people here, I'm sure, you know, off the grid, I know does have a garden, but I mean, how many people here have actually had you know, for the first 2 years, actually had a garden that was successful? I find it to be very hard.
It's a lot of work,
you know, so
dedication.
Yeah.
But if that's your source of food,
then you do good at it.
Then it's your high priority.
So yeah, Dime Digger. I mean, I admit I don't know much about reloading. You're saying it's actually more accurate than buying name brand stuff. So maybe that is true. I don't know anything about it. I do know a guy who does his own reloads, and he does a lot of them, and he pumps that stuff out all the time. So, but I'm not honestly really sure how it works.
We have a couple people in the channel that do gardens, so that's awesome. You know, we just haven't had I haven't had the best of luck. I'll just say with it. I tend to kill things by accident.
Yeah, I don't have a green thumb.
So
unfortunately,
Corn says he does a crop.
Well, that would make sense.
Hey, he probably grows corn.
Corn.
He has rows, and then he makes them into mazes for his kids.
Where he makes.
Yep, you got a garden with what you like to eat. That is very, very true. Corn.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, that's awesome that you have chickens, Silver Turtle. You know, that's
definitely
something that we can't do. We don't have much land. So
I would love to have chickens.
Oh, she wants that and little ducklings.
No, I want a cow.
A cow too.
You don't have room for chickens. I doubt you have room for a cow.
Yeah. No, she wants a sheep and like she wants the whole freaking Noah's Ark.
Yes.
We're going to have to do a lot more gardening at that point to feed these things.
We have a lot of fertilizer.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you're going to make me the one to shovel it.
Yeah,
the bad
well.
back. Thank you, NATV. We'll get that out to you within the next day or so, mailed to you.
Yeah, there's also a book. I haven't done anything with it yet, but there's a book about winter gardening, and it's essentially, people that they plant the crop later in the season and then cover it over with like the snow blankets and some plastic. And I did experiment with that a couple winters ago. And the sage made it through the winter pretty much, but you really have to have it so that the plants come to maturity before the cold sets in too much, because they'll stop growing. But if you plant enough of them, you'll have a harvest.
Yeah, because don't you have to do it just early enough so that it still has like the roots or have enough time to, take hold?
Right. You plan it out so that you plant it within that time frame where the cold is going to start hitting your area. So say that it takes 30 days. So you need it at least 30 days prior to plant it 30 days at least prior to the cold spell in your area.
Okay.
So that it's mature. And the best things tend to be the green leafy vegetables, but you can do some and root vegetables. But there's a whole list. There's a lot of information out there, too, on that.
It's very interesting.
Now, I do have a couple questions, because some people are saying, if you have a special skill set, you want to put it in the channel. I'm just curious. I've seen a couple people who have, like NATVs, really good at making shelter. What else, are out there of different skill sets that people do have that they can offer if shit hits the fan?
Yeah, well, without power, I'm basically nothing, because my skill set is computer. So
yeah, that's true. I have computers too, so it doesn't.
That would be
electrician. That's good to have that. That's big. That's huge.
Yeah, that is big.
Plumber. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know too many. I know electricians, but I don't know any plumbers.
I do.
Can write software. That's awesome. Is anyone can here? Because that's something we've been actually thinking about doing, canning.
There were some people saying that they can make alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hang with those people. Can you send me your address?
No, I think it was VC somebody, VC Nevada. I'm like, ooh, he sounds like my new best friend.
Oh, I love cake. Levercoin's talking about loves eating leftover cake.
Yeah, Off-Grid Power's talking about getting some solar. Yeah, I'd like some more information about solar and how we could, set some of that up and use some of that, because I'd definitely like to get off the grid a little bit.
See, that's awesome.
Teach first aid.
Seduced by Silver. That's a good thing to have. Teach first aid, care for injured, treatment of trauma. That's huge. I mean, that would come into a huge play when STHF happens.
Ooh, mechanic.
Cannon for foods. That is awesome.
Booze.
And booze.
Wow, I guess we're heading for Nevada, honey.
Coins. My wife is definitely going to probably want to talk to you, since you can make booze. She'll probably want to some tips.
Hey, it's good for disinfecting. Yes.
Yeah. So that's awesome having that.
All right, yeah, cool. Off-Grid Power. I will send you an email. It'd be interesting to see what you have to say.
Has anyone ever eaten bear corn? Asked. No. No.
Is it tough?
No.
What's the texture of it?
It seems like it'd be kind of tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the texture of that meat. Corn. Tell what kind of texture is that?
It'd be tough.
What's it like compared to deer meat?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. Obviously, if I was desperate, I'd eat bear, but that wouldn't be part of my normal.
Snake.
No,
hey,
snake.
You know what? Don't laugh about the snake. I had a friend, guy who lived on a farm, and he made beef jerky out of everything. Snake jerky, pig jerky. I mean, he made everything. He came in one day and said, "You want to try this?" I said, "What is it?" And I was like, that ain't going in my mouth. Maybe if I'm starving or whatever, maybe I'll eat it, but I ain't eating snake jerky.
No way.
What about muskrat?
Snake is dead.
Muskrat. Oh.
I don't even think I'd eat it with barbecue sauce on it. And I put
It's not enough barbecue sauce.
I love
Really?
corn. What corn?
Bear is kind of sweet in a strange way.
Corn said, "Have you ever ate any gator? What have you not eaten, corn? That's
Let's just talk about what you haven't had, corn.
what you don't eat that way."
Short list.
Oh,
To me, bear is kind of sweet in a strange way.
yes. Some people, seduced by silver, stores alcohol to barter.
Well, then you will.
Yes, we saw that in her video. Yeah, very good idea.
We'll definitely take you up on that one. Rattlesnake. Ugh. Gator is good if cooked correctly. Sheep is
Greasy and tough. Ugh.
someone.
It doesn't
Nate
sound
Gate.
appetizing.
Sheep is good. I would never even think of cooking a sheep.
Mutton.
Fruits
What's
and
for dinner?
vegetables.
Mutton,
That's
honey?
nothing wrong with just stick with fruits and vegetables.
All God's critters taste good.
Oh, pheasant. We have pheasant up in Michigan.
Yeah,
And wild turkeys, too, up north. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, corn just said he's eaten bear before, but it was greasy and tough.
They make Italian sausage out of bear. That might
Really?
Love lamb. I've had lamb a couple of times. I kind of like it. You know, it's not often I get it.
be. Yeah,
but
I like lamb.
lamb is pretty good.
It's pretty tasty.
What do you think, Mr. and Mrs. TV?
Yeah, I don't know. We stick to pretty much the standard stuff. We haven't.
We're not too adventurous
We're
on
not
the
too
food
adventurous.
side.
Cow, chicken.
Well, corn likes possum, evidently.
Oh.
His possum is good. I don't know where you get all these things to eat, but
Well, possum be pretty easy to find in the road. 'Cause
Yeah.
They play.
that's where they practice their play.
Yes.
Some of them are just way too good at it, too.
They
Unfortunately.
Salivate Metal eats unborn chickens. Ooh, no. I actually eat those just about every day myself.
Ew.
Well, you know what?
Eggs.
Salivate Metal, I give you props. I do want that one.
Fatback? You
All
skunk?
right, corn's just messing with us now. I think he was with the bear too.
I think corn is just not announcing every single animal.
I don't think, do they even have bear down south? I don't even know if they do.
Groundhog is good.
Red squirrel is very. It seems like there wouldn't be much meat on a red squirrel.
That's funny, Sal. You're just egging
effort.
me on.
Red squirrel tastes like pine trees. That's good. That's funny. Squirrels' brains are tasty.
Oh.
Oh,
Little.
Oh God, corn is just
It'd be like
corn. If
chewed
you
gum.
ate any of the stuff, I hope you put tons of A1 sauce or something on that stuff. Just ooh. Yeah,
A1 sauce. That's the best.
as soon as my sliver's throwing up.
Squirrel.
A1 sauce with Tabasco.
Oh.
Clever Coin, have you had fish? No one's talked about fish.
Yeah, right.
Wait, that's Clever Coin brought something that no one's been talking about fish. They're talking about other things, but not fish.
Debbie, Albuquerque, New Mexico, just talked about trout.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And frogs, I've seen actually
Ew.
people eat them.
Mm-hmm.
Not my,
Yeah, I've had frog legs before. They're pretty good.
yeah, not my cup of tea.
Didn't you go catching frogs when you were a kid?
Yeah, but I used to be a head cook in a restaurant. We cooked frog legs. It was one of our meals in a fancy restaurant.
Oh, Dime Digger said he wasn't joking about the pine cone.
Really?
Ah. I guess that's what they're snacking on, so that's what they would taste like.
When you're hungry enough, that is VC Coins nailed on the head. When you're hungry enough, you'll eat anything. It really,
True.
I mean, and you feed your family. You'll do whatever you can to feed your family.
Naked mole rats? Ew.
Frogs taste like chicken, right? They do. Those frog legs taste like chicken.
Off-grid tried squirrel a couple years ago, and it was surprisingly good. Kind of like the dark meat of a chicken.
Chicken?
Yeah, did you put something on that off-grid? You must have had to add something to that. There's not much there to eat. I mean, as far as the squirrels here aren't big, so there must
No.
not be too much food out of
Unless
that.
they have mammoth squirrel somewhere. Hyped up on steroids.
Imagine one of those things they jump at you.
Squirrel on steroids.
Snail. Yeah. Portuguese and
You have snails now.
I won't
No.
personally eat it.
No.
But Portuguese in my family, they eat snails.
Yes, they eat.
And
octopus,
but I'll
too.
tell you right now, if you've ever smelled snails being cooked, it's godly awful. Godly awful.
Well, I have to tell you, we did a lot of prep work for this session, and I did not think we'd be talking about
Snails.
grilling bear and cooking snails.
Grilled tree bark is okay. Oh my God, corn is. Yes, corn, inner tree bark.
Mm.
All right, so we're getting up to about 5 minutes left, so really appreciate everybody showing up. But I wondered, Mr. S&P and Mrs. S&P, if you care to talk about your little trip to the store today.
Oh yeah, well, Miss S&P didn't go because if she
No.
would have went, I would not have been able.
Yeah. This is that I found out when I got home from work.
She comes home and sees a 20-pack of 1-ounce bars and goes, "What the fuck is it?" I mean, excuse me.
What did he blink, blink?
What the bleep beep is this? Excuse my language.
See you, Sale. Thanks for showing up. We really appreciate it.
So we went to I went to a coin shop and I was able to get 40 ounces of silver, basically below spot total between junk silver and the bars. He was trying to, I guess, clean stuff out, and I was able to get a really good deal. I mean, 40 ounces for below spot. I mean, you can't.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was totally an awesome deal. I just walking in to find 40 ounces of silver when you weren't expecting it was kind of like, wait a minute, what?
Well, I mean, you can always eat some squirrel if you can't afford to go to the grocery store.
Yeah,
True,
so it was
true.
it was pretty good.
So I should ask people to start sending me squirrel recipes.
Oh.
No, I'll tell you, the communities.
S&P when he doesn't know.
Ain't happening.
No, honey, it's chicken.
Yeah, she would do that to me too.
See, I mean, look at the effect that community's having on you. You know, it wasn't more than a week or two ago. You're saying, no, I don't buy a generic. I don't buy a generic. And look at you.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you know what? We're against ourselves because we were like, we're never gonna do it at least one out, and we ended up doing it.
Squirrel jerky.
So, how many pre-drinks have you had before the live stream? How many have you had? Seduced by Silver wants to know how many
I had
drinks
one
you had.
glass of wine.
Is that really 1 + 1?
No, that was
Two.
actually just one glass
So it's
of
just
wine.
one, not
glass
like.
of wine.
How
Yeah.
large was the
Yeah,
glass?
that's a 40-ounce glass, though.
No.
She'll have the bottle done before the end of the night.
I will not. He likes to pick on me.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
I'll have a beer, but I mean, I'm not a big drinker.
No.
He always wants me to make the because I make some really good mudslides on the rocks. Like,
Oh God, you don't
phenomenal.
want to have one of his mudslides.
But if you have my mudslide on the rock, you'll be killed over.
yeah, you won't remember anything.
Nothing better than a glass of mudslide and a squirrel.
But I
Or
do
some
want to.
bear.
He's really good, but eesh.
But I do want to mention. I'm going to put a link in the chat. I'm going to be picking a for the 200 subscriber.
Just put a straw in the bottle.
So we're doing a thing for the 200 subscribers. We did hit it. We're gonna pick tomorrow. So if everyone wants to go to the channel, the video is called 200 subscriber. Just like, subscribe, and leave a comment with that video. And tomorrow we will be picking the prize to go off of that. So that will be about 9 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. The winner for that. So definitely take advantage of that. You could be the one.
Yep, that's on Stacking and Prepping's channel, and my channel. I've got a 500 subscriber goal going as well that I'm going to end Friday night. So a couple more chances for you guys out there to win some more silver.
And next week, on next Monday's episode, Talking Bullion actually has 2 prizes going up that day.
Yep, we're going to give away some more.
And then we have 4 prizes going up on the Christmas episode. So there's a lot of opportunities to win some stuff. Did you already decide with TV what you want to do for next week's things? Or are you still looking into that?
No, I know what we're going to do, but we'll keep a little bit of a surprise out there. I have to tune in to find out what's going on.
Good surprise then, yeah. So I did put the link in it's the YouTube for the video is actually, I just posted it in the chat.
Yep, and Dime Digger, I'm definitely gonna need to see that video.
Oh God. Well, I don't want to see that video.
You get to taste it instead.
Ain't doing don't
No,
you
you
dare.
won't know.
Don't you dare
I
do
won't.
that.
Yeah. How about the squirrel jerky that you can mail to them?
Yeah. Yeah, great. Now I'm gonna come by one day. I'm gonna have something. I'm gonna say it's good, and she'll go, "Oh, that was squirrel." Do you like that? Do you like that, babe?
Does that taste extra good?
Yeah, what'd you put on it? So she's a good cook, so she could probably honestly make it taste good. So
he would know something is up. I'd probably start laughing while he's putting it in his mouth.
Yeah, you like the way that tastes? Is that chewy?
Yeah, talking Bullion here. He's the cook at this house.
Yeah, like I said, when I was in my late teens, I was a head cook in a restaurant, so I learned how to cook pretty well. So I do a lot of the cooking.
Nate, are you still in the chat? Nate Gate, you still here? No, he might be gone. Corn loves videos.
Well, everybody, we appreciate you coming on tonight for our first epic edition of East Side Rendezvous. So we really appreciate you joining us tonight. We want to be respectful of your time. It's about 10 o'clock. So we would appreciate it if you'd come along and join us next week as well. Again, we'll be on next Monday, and then the following, and then in that same week, we'll be on that Thursday, the 20th, and then not Monday, the 24th. So join us for that special Christmas edition too, because like I said, we got a lot of good giveaways. We're just going to have some fun, and I would imagine Mrs. S&P will probably have a nice Christmas drink going during that session as well, and then we probably will too. I mean, why not have some fun, right? It's a Christmas special. Drink some eggnog.
But it was great, everyone joining. We with Talking Bullion and us collaborating, we hope to bring you some great content now and in the future, and hopefully, you guys can continue to join us. It's going to be an awesome path that we're going to go down, and the more that join us on the journey, there are going to be some great things. So thank you so much for joining us. It really, having 35 people at one point, that was awesome. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.